Talk Radio
95.1 FM.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South Sound, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
This is the world news on your premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Amaka Felix. Good evening and welcome. The headlines: NLC issues 7-day ultimatum to federal government to refund allegedly diverted workers' funds. ADC urges INEC to show transparency during nationwide by-elections on Saturday. Stakeholders in Port Harcourt call for recognition of young people as active leaders of today. And on the foreign scene, South Africa holds national dialogue on poverty. Details in a moment. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to refund allegedly diverted workers' funds from the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, and immediately constitute the governing board of the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, warning that failure to comply will lead to a nationwide industrial action. The resolution was contained in a communique issued at the end of the NLC Central Working Committee CWC meeting in Abuja. The meeting, presided over by NLC President Joe Ajaero, deliberated extensively on issues affecting Nigerian workers, the trade union movement, and the nation at large. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to maintain impartiality and transparency in the by-elections slated for Saturday, August 16, 2025, nationwide. In a goodwill message to ADC candidates for the Senate, House of Representatives and State Houses of Assembly, the party chairman, David Mark, called on INEC to deliver an election process that would rebuild public confidence in the electoral system. According to a statement by his special advisor on media, Paul Mume, the ADC will field candidates in the by-elections in Anambra, Edo, Oyo, Taraba, Adamawa, Kaduna, Zamfara, Kano, Niger, and Ogun states. He reminded INEC that all eyes were on the commission to correct past errors that tarnished its public image, stressing that a truly free, fair, and credible election on Saturday could help redeem its reputation. Senator Mark also called on security agencies to guarantee a level playing field for all participants, ensuring that the will of the people is allowed to prevail without interference. The sole administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, has approved the appointment of the chairman and members of 8 boards. Amongst the boards approved is the Rivers State University Governing Council, with Oke Wali, a senior advocate of Nigeria, as the chairman and 8 members. Samuel Oge is appointed as the chairman, Rivers State Universal Basic Education Commission. John Peppel as secretary alongside 8 other members, while Tony Egurugu is appointed to chairman of Rivers State Senior Secondary Education Board alongside 12 members. Other boards approved are the Rivers State Internal Revenue, with Israel Igbonefu as its chairman alongside 9 members, while Samuel Wanosike is appointed the chairman of Rivers State Waste Management Board and other 11 members. The Rivers State Contributory Health Protection Program is chaired by Professor Prince Chike and Vetty Agala as the executive secretary alongside 14 members. Professor Adolphus Toby is the chairman of Rivers State Microfinance Agency, and Professor John Ohaka alongside 3 other members. Also, Dr. Samson Parker will chair the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital Board, with Professor Chizindu Aliko as the Chief Medical Director, and Dr. Simon Uriah will be the Deputy Chief Medical Director, and Dr. Diamond Tamnokoro, Chairman, Nigeria Medical Association, alongside 6 other members of the board. In a statement from the Office of the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Ibibia Warika said the newly appointed board members will be sworn in by the sole administrator of River State. The chairman of River State Independent Electoral Commission, RISEC, Michael Ode, has advocated for the support and partnership of civil society organizations in ensuring a smooth, free, fair and credible election on 30th of August 2025. Ode, who spoke during an engagement with civil society organizations in River State, appealed to the groups to assist RISEC in acting as voters, educators and mediators towards the success of August 30th local government council elections. He assured the forum will help to strengthen collaboration with civil society organizations in areas of voter sensitization, monitoring of election and the entire electoral process. Ode maintained that the interactive session was part of preparedness and reaffirmation of the Commission's commitment to an inclusive, peaceful and transparent process, just as he urged the CLOs to help in reaching out to the people, especially those at the rural areas. Ode emphasized that achieving a credible election was not just the responsibilities of electoral umpire, but a product of collective efforts of the election management body, security agencies, civil society organizations, and the media, hence the need for the collaboration.
Civil society in our democratic process essentially cannot be overstated because the civil society is normally a bridge between the election management body and the people. It is also the voice that amplifies voter education. In fact, it is that watchful eye that promotes accountability, that promotes transparency, and that enhances peaceful participation in elections. The civil society organizations, the media, and the security agencies. Let us together make this 30th August election a model of democratic excellence.
Today FM's Uchendu Joho reports that while a representative of the Commissioner of Police gave update on the security situation of the forthcoming election, the RISEC Commissioner in charge of Budget, Statistics, Research and Training, Professor Lezasi Lene Torbira, also gave updates on what the Commission had achieved so far and few things pending before the election.
I've also issued notice of election and even the revised timetable for this election. That has been done. In addition to that, we've held meetings with political party leaders, and that has also been done. Courtesy visit to head of military formations and security agencies have been done by the Commission. I've also budgeted and assessed the election material needs of this Commission. We've designed and printed and purchased non-sensitive election materials. That has also been done. And supervision and monitoring of political parties' primaries has been done by this Commission. There have been issuance of nomination form to candidates of the various political parties. Appointments, deployments of electoral officers has also been done.
And the executive coordinator of the Relief International Africa, Green Isaac, who spoke on behalf of the civil society organizations, assured the commitment of the groups in ensuring a free, fair and credible election.
Make sure that we educate those at home, those at the rural and urban areas on their role as citizens to make sure that they come out and vote during that election. There are persons that do not get information as it is. There have been so many misinformation out there. It is our job as members of the civil society organization, and most especially those who are present here, to go back to our communities, go back to our areas, to make sure we douse the tension. For us as civil society organizations, our role is to make sure that we midwife the process, work closely with the Commission.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, in River State, under the leadership of Chief Tonio Kocha, says its resolve to participate in the August 30th local government council election is as a result of the processes rightly followed by the current RISEC, contrary to activities of the suspended one. Chief Okocha, who spoke during the flag-off of campaign in Port Harcourt ahead of the August 30th, 2025 chairmanship and councillorship elections, boasted that the party will not only take part in the election but emerge victorious. Kocha, before handing over the flag to candidates, disclosed that the APC under his watch had been removed from full drop, indicating that the party was fully on ground in Rivers State. The state chairman, while insisting that their strategy in planting stronghold at the local government level was playing taken over and continued support for President Bola Tinubu in 2027. He advised supporters to maintain peace before, during, and after the LGA elections.
May you know your LGAs, you're all from the 3 local government areas. We have all our chairmanship candidates here seated. We have all the 319 councillors also here seated. The chairman and their deputies are also here. So please indulge us. We are here to formally launch. We are here to formally declare open campaigns for local government elections that have been scheduled for the 30th of August 2025. Today, we are bold, we are happy to stand before you to tell you that because the processes are right and we are here to support those processes.
On his part, a former senator who represented the Rivers South East Senatorial District, Senator Magnus Abe, who is representing the vice chairman of APC South, Victor Giadon, said the party was united, strong, and committed in delivering dividends of democracy.
The APC in Rivers State is united. The APC in Rivers State is strong. The APC in Rivers State is ready to deliver the dividends of democracy to the grassroots. And he also asked me to commend the state chairman and executives of our party for the very wonderful work they have done in executing a flawless primary election that has produced candidates that we are all happy and proud to support. People that we deliver and we are moving. Everybody in Rivers State is welcome to join the APC. Is there any contest? Is there anybody who is against us?
Today FM's correspondent reports that former Nigerian ambassador to Jamaica, Ambassador Maureen Tamino, while commending the Tony Okocha-led state executives, assured that Rivers women were committed to ensuring that the state moves forward.
And that the women of Rivers State are united in one voice. We are committed to the fear of God that has brought about the unity and the peace that we enjoy today in Rivers State. We want to assure you that as women that are grassroots rooted, when it is time, we will definitely deliver the dividends of democracy so that at the end of the day, Rivers State will begin to enjoy the renewed hope of Mr. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Rivers State will be part of those states that will enjoy it. You can see the Mormon crowd. We want to use this opportunity, Mr. Chairman, to thank.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission (RISEC) has acknowledged receipt of a list of candidates from Chief Emeka Bekee faction of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the state. The RISEC Commissioner for Administration and Legal Service, Professor Chidi Halliday, who confirmed receipt, said the list was only received for record purpose and not to be recognized by the Commissioner ahead of the forthcoming council elections. Professor Halliday, while insisting electoral umpires were allowed to interfere in political party crises, explained that the Commission had monitored APC primaries, received the list of successful candidates, not minding any faction. Professor Halliday, while insisting the Commission never monitored primaries from the Emeka Bekee faction of the APC and that the faction never met with the deadline for submission of candidates and forms, said the list cannot be useful as no court had the right to allegedly impose an executive on any political party.
You are aware, and I'm so sure, that RISEC was not a party in any court action involving the Emeka Bekee that you referred to. And with what they brought to us, we conducted the primaries. So anything that we are getting after the primaries that they had and which other one that must have submitted, we just take it for record purposes because it's not within the timelines that we have provided. And you don't start talking about faction. It's not this thing of the commission to resolve factional disputes.
You are listening to the World News on Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports diaries. Do stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. The River State Police Command has arrested a Port Harcourt-based pastor and 4 church members after a disturbing video surfaced online showing a group of unclad minors being whipped in what appeared to be a religious ritual. The suspect, identified as Pastor Ifediora Joseph of a New General Church in Eneka, allegedly organized a 3-day program for children, claiming it was a spiritual cleansing inspired by the Holy Spirit. The amateur footage, which has spread rapidly across social media, shows the 41-year-old pastor striking the children while other church members looked on. The River State Commissioner of Police, CP Olugbenga Adekboju, ordered an immediate investigation after the video was brought to the attention of authorities. Police operatives acting on intelligence stormed the church premises and arrested the pastor alongside 4 members believed to be involved in the incident. Speaking to newsmen, Pastor Ifediora insisted that the ritual was carried out with the parents' full consent and was purely for the children's spiritual purification. In a surprising turn of events, several parents of the affected children stormed the Eneka Police Division, singing and dancing in support of the pastor. They insisted that they had willingly consented to the ritual and claimed there was no abuse involved. A former member of the River State House of Assembly, Dr. Johnson Elechi, and General Commander of OSPAC in the Moha local government area, Chief Emeka Wari, have intervened in the controversy that rocked the paramount ruler of Rumuji and some members of his Ohain Council and the youth group led by Anele Obu. The paramount ruler of Rumuji, Oha Okachineke Christian Elechi, had in July 2025 proscribed the youth led by Obu, an action which followed criticisms and rejection by some aggrieved members of the Ohain Council. Responding to the situation, Dr. Johnson Elechi, who is the current national president of the Association of Integrative Medicine Practitioners of Nigeria, and Emeka Wari, in swift responses to curb potential danger, summoned all aggrieved parties in a bid to resolving all outstanding issues. Declaring their recommendations after due consultations, Dr. Elechi advised the Ohain Council in Rumuji to stand against forces from Greenville Company to disorganize the community, and the appointment or election of youth bodies should be determined by the paramount ruler with his Ohain Council.
Our recommendation as arbitrator of peace in Rumuji community is 1. Oha in council should stand tall against forces coming from Greenville Nigerian Limited and the other companies operating in Rumuji to disorganize the community. We have discovered that most of the problem is coming from the staffs of Greenville Nigeria Limited operating in the Rumuji community just to disorganize the government of Rumuji community in order to pave way for their selfish interest.
Dr. Johnson Elechi, while warning against actions capable of causing breakdown of law and order in Rumuji community, especially disrespect to the custodian of the culture and tradition, emphasized the need for the parties to strictly adhere to the recommendations.
The advice is that for peace to reign, both the paramount ruler, the Ohain Council, chiefs, CDC, and youth body should adhere strictly to this our recommendation. Rumuji is our own community. We have no any other place to go, and we don't want to emulate what is happening in other communities where people disrespect the authority of their communities. We have stayed in the peace, and there are things abiding the community which nobody can destroy at this time. So we want the people to take the development that is coming to Rumuji as a blessing.
On his part, the General Commander of Allspark in Emoha Local Government Area, Chief Emeka Wari, in an interview with Today.9.1fm's Uchendwe Johor, expressed joy that peace had been restored to the community and cautioned the youth and Greenville Company against activities that could cause unrest in the area.
Today, I am happy because we have made peace in Rumuji community. What happened last month, July, was something that is capable to destroy this community. Today, thank God that we managed to brought the two parties together, the Paramount ruler and the Ohan Council, for peace to reign in Rumuji community. I am appealing to the youth body because what happened is capable of bringing problem, crisis. We don't want to experience what we experienced 2016, 2017, 2019 anymore in Rumuji. I'm appealing to the youth body because if it happens today, it's going to affect, if it don't affect you, to affect your brother, your father, or your mother.
Stakeholders have called for the recognition and inclusion of young people in Nigeria, not merely as leaders of tomorrow, but as active leaders of today. This formed part of discussions at the ongoing National Conference on Adolescent Health and Development in Nigeria, organized by the Society for Adolescent and Young People's Health in Nigeria, SAFEN, in Port Harcourt. Delivering the keynote address, Secretary of the Nigerian Health Commissioners Forum and Commissioner for Health in Kwara State, Amina El Imam, urged youths to leverage digital tools and information to advocate for themselves across various sectors, while calling on the Ministries of Health and Youth, as well as communities, to prioritize and meet the needs of young people promptly. Highlighting the unique strengths of the younger generation, Al-Imam stressed the importance of involving youths in decision-making, policy formulation, advocacy, and the implementation of initiatives, adding that their presence at the table ensures their voices are heard and respected.
The whole idea of the speech was to ginger people to work. It's to spur us into action. I aim to get action from all sides. That's why I charge the youth with better utilization of the digital tools available to them. I charge the youth to also ensure that they use the available repository of information at their disposal to advocate for themselves. There are many competing needs in the health sector, in the education space, in the youth and sports space. It is now a matter of desperation, matter of urgency, is a critical need for us to involve the youth in decision making, in policy formulation, in advocacy and implementation of all our activities.
On his part, the national president and convener of SAFEN, Professor Adesegun Fatushi, said the organization provides a platform for professionals from diverse fields who are committed to promoting the health and well-being of adolescents in Nigeria and supporting them to reach their full potential.
SAFEN is a national and broad-based group that serves to bring together people across sectors within the adolescent field. And that's because we know that adolescent health and well-being does not belong to any sector. If you are a young person and you are going to be well, you are going to be fulfilled, you need education, you need health, you need social protection. So SAFEN provides a platform where professionals from all kinds of fields who are all interested in working for the health and well-being of adolescents and are supporting them to fulfill their potential. SAFEN for many people who are in the adolescent field is a dream come true at last.
Also speaking, chairperson of the local organizing committee for SAFEN 2025, Professor Omosivi Maduka, stated that the key outcomes of the conference would be documented in a communique, published and used as a reference guide for practitioners in the adolescent health space.
So what we've learned is that from the very beginning you have to involve all the people working in the adolescent health space and the young people's health space. We didn't just plan this conference by ourselves. We had all the agencies and partner organizations, federal, state, national, international NGOs working with us in the local organizing committee to pull off this conference. And as we go forward into programming and helping adolescents and young persons in Nigeria, all the things that we will learn from this conference will come in handy. We'll put together a communique at the end of this conference and we will publish it so that anybody working in adolescent and young persons health space knows what the adolescents say they want and need and can help them.
Today FM reports that the theme for the conference is the evolving adolescent and youth in a digital age. On the foreign scene now, South Africa is holding a national dialogue aimed at bringing all sectors of society together to discuss the country's most pressing issues and finding solutions. The talks, initiated by President Cyril Ramaphosa after calls from civil society, are expected to include most political parties, civic groups and members of the public. Concerns have been raised over a possible $40 million cost, while there are also questions about whether the dialogue will result in significant changes. South Africa faces many problems more than 30 years after the end of the apartheid system of white minority rule, including high levels of poverty and inequality, crime, corruption, and an unemployment rate of more than 30%, one of the world's worst. Since its first democratic election in 1994, when Nelson Mandela was elected as the country's first black president, South Africa made progress in de-escalating racial tensions, improving the economy, and providing access to millions of its poor black majority. However, there are concerns that the country has digressed over the last decade, and calls for a soul-searching exercise grew louder after the long-governing African National Congress, or ANC, party lost its majority in the 2024 election, forcing South Africa to form a coalition government. To end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. The NLC has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to refund allegedly diverted workers' funds. The ADC has urged INEC to show transparency during nationwide by-elections on Saturday. We told you that stakeholders in Poltaket have called for recognition of young people as active leaders of today. And on the foreign scene, you heard that South Africa is holding its national dialogue on poverty. Stella Sasongo Okori edited the news. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. Read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Amaka Felix. Thank you for listening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
The station with the...
As the voice of the people, we make sure that no one misses out. On Today 95.1 FM, there's something for everyone.
Our tech show, because tech is new money. Our kids show, because we love the little ones.
Our Gospiration, because it's the moment of truth. Our High Life show, because High Life is vintage.
Our sports show with the adrenaline. Our midnight show, because we care about your love life.
Our Nostalgia Drive, because old is gold. Our show for young people, because Gen Z code is on.
Our Pidgin Bit, because na Naija we dey. Our book review, because books are a mirror. Our big stories, because big things only.
Our health shows with seasoned health experts, because we care that you're healthy. Our eyewitness report, because we want to hear from you. Our reggae show, because Rastafari. One love.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Baby, tonight's the night.
Let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey. Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. Beneath the Night Sky with the Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
Today is business. Today is a new trend for your businesses. We give you all the information you need to grow your business, new ideas and innovations that keep you earning more and staying relevant.
Every day we engage in business, buying and selling, trading and exchanging of services as individuals or as a country. Money goes round, it goes up and down. But have you ever wondered what business is all about? And have you ever wondered how you can stand out in your business?
Today FM has got you covered every Wednesday between the hours of 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Learn all you need from professionals on how the country runs its business affairs and how you can be an outstanding entrepreneur and grow your business.
Business Today.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM. Nigeria. This is Today 95.1.
This is Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt, Voice of the People. It is time again for a rundown of the foreign stories that made the headlines on the world today. I am Amaka Felix. Good evening. U.S. approves $346 million weapons sale to Nigeria to fight terrorism. Cholera claims 40 lives in Sudan. Israel approves thousands of housing units in occupied West Bank. Lebanon reportedly rejects foreign interference, and Liverpool man accused of football parade crash faces new charges. Details coming up shortly. The United States have approved the sale of $346 million worth of munitions, bombs, and precision rockets to Nigeria. The U.S. State Department, in a press statement, said the deal will support foreign policy goals of the United States by improving the security of a strategic partner in sub-Saharan Africa. The Nigerian government requested a long list of weapons, including more than 1,000 Mk-82 500 LP bombs, a weapon which was most recently used by the Israeli military to bomb civilians in Gaza. The deal also included 5,000 precision rockets, kill weapon systems, APKWS, laser-guided bomb kits, high-explosive rockets, as well as technical personnel services. The State Department said the proposed sale will improve Nigeria's capability to meet current and future threats through operations against terrorist organizations and to counter illicit trafficking in Nigeria and the Gulf of Guinea. 40 people have died from cholera in Sudan's Darfur region in what medical charity Doctors Without Borders described as the country's worst outbreak in years. MSF said the vast western region, already devastated by more than 2 years of fighting between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF, is bearing the brunt of an outbreak that began a year ago. The group, in a statement, said people in Sudan are now experiencing the worst cholera outbreak the country has seen in years. In the Darfur region alone, MSF teams treated over 2,300 patients and recorded 40 deaths in the past week. Nationwide, health authorities have reported 99,700 suspected cases and 2,470 deaths linked to cholera since August 2023. The bacterial infection, transmitted through contaminated food and water, can cause severe diarrhea, vomiting, and muscle cramps. Health officials launched a 10-day vaccination drive in the capital, Khartoum, to slow what aid agencies warn is a fast-moving outbreak worsened by war, mass displacement, and heavy rainfall. Away from Africa to the rest of the world, Russian President Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump are set to meet in Alaska on Friday. Whether the talks can produce a peace deal remains uncertain, but many Moscow residents are hopeful. Residents expressed hope that some kind of compromise can be found to end the conflict. It will be Putin's first trip to the United States since 2015 for the UN General Assembly in New York. Since the US is not a member of the International Criminal Court, which in 2023 issued a warrant for Putin on war crimes accusations, it is under no obligation to arrest him. Putin sees a meeting with Trump as a chance to cement Russia's territorial gains, keep Ukraine out of NATO, and prevent it from hosting any Western troops so Moscow can gradually pull the country back into its orbit. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has arrived in Berlin for a virtual summit with European officials and United States President Donald Trump, convened by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. The call was meant to bring European leaders together with President Trump before the planned August 15 Alaska meeting between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Those on the call included Merz and the US President, as well as US Vice Presidents J.D. Vance, Zelensky, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof, among others. 3 persons reportedly injured in a drone blast in Russia's Belgorod region. The blast hit a moving vehicle, which caught fire before being extinguished by emergency crews. CCTV footage released on Gladkov's official Telegram channel appeared to show the moment of impact in central Belgorod. The region's governor said the strike was carried out by a Ukrainian drone in what he described as another attack on the region's largest city near the Ukrainian border. In a separate incident earlier in the day, a government building was hit by a drone without causing injuries. Russia's defense ministry reported shooting down 44 Ukrainian drones overnight across its territory and the annexed Crimea. Israel's far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich says he will approve thousands of housing units in a highly controversial and long-delayed illegal settlement project in the occupied West Bank. Smotrich said he would approve tenders to build more than 3,000 homes in the E1 area settlement project that would connect Jerusalem and the existing illegal Israeli settlement of Ma'ale Adumim, located several kilometers to the east. He said the reality finally buries the idea of a Palestinian state, arguing that there is nothing to recognize and no one to recognize. He threatened that anyone in the world who tries to recognize a Palestinian state will receive an answer from them on the ground. In response, the Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs called the new settlement plan an extension of crimes of genocide, displacement and annexation, and an echo of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's statement regarding what he called Greater Israel. Human Rights Watch (HRW) has denounced the Israeli airstrikes on even prison in Tehran as unlawful and indiscriminate, amounting to clear war crimes. The bombings struck multiple buildings within the prison complex, claiming the lives of at least 80 individuals, including prisoners, their family members, and prison staff. Alarmingly, no discernible military target was present, raising grave concerns over the legitimacy of the attack. HRW expressed worries that the attack took place during visiting hours, stressing that the act exacerbated the tragedy. In their pursuit of answers, the organization reached out to both Iranian and the Israeli authorities on July 2 and July 7, but has yet to receive any substantial responses. Lebanon's president has told a senior Iranian official that Beirut rejects any interference in its internal affairs. He also criticized Tehran's statements on plans to disarm Hezbollah as unconstructive. Iran's Supreme National Security Council chief Ali Larijani's visit to Beirut comes a week after the Lebanese government ordered the army to devise plans by the end of 2025 to disarm the Iran-aligned Lebanese armed group. Iran expressed opposition to the plan to disarm Hezbollah, which before a war with Israel last year was believed to be better armed than the Lebanese military. Larijani responded to OWN by stating that Iran does not interfere in Lebanese decision-making and that foreign countries should not give orders to Lebanon. He said any decision taken by the Lebanese government in consultation with the resistance is respected by them. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un's sister has accused South Korea of misleading the public about ties between the Koreas. D9 claims that Pyongyang removed some propaganda blaring loudspeakers from their shared border. In a statement carried out by the state-controlled Korean Central News Agency, Kim Yo-jong blasted the claim by South Korea's military as an unfounded unilateral supposition and a red herring. Kim said they have never removed loudspeakers installed on the border area and are not willing to remove them. She accused Seoul of building up public opinion while embellishing their new policy towards Pyongyang. She called their move a foolish calculation to force a response from them, claiming that they are trying to shift the responsibility for escalation to them. A British man accused of driving his vehicle into crowds celebrating Liverpool's Premier League title win will face an additional 24 criminal charges. Former British Marine Paul Doyle appeared tearful as he joined the hearing at Liverpool Crown Court via video link from prison when details of the new counts stemming from the May 26 incident emerged. Merseyside police now says 134 people were injured when Doyle allegedly drove his Ford Galaxy Titanium into crowds who were leaving Liverpool's waterfront after a victory parade. The court heard that the 31 charges in total involve 29 victims, aged between 6 months and 77. 6 relate to children, including 2 babies, one aged 6 months at the time and one aged 7 months, who were injured when the car hit people massed on Water Street in the city centre. Doyle was initially charged with 7 offences, including dangerous driving and causing grievous bodily harm with intent. He now faces multiple additional counts under that and other charges, including 19 for attempting to cause grievous bodily harm, 3 of wounding with intent, and 1 of affray. That story from Liverpool concludes tonight's edition of The World Today, as produced by Sandra Kenneth of the News Department. Before we go, here is a summary of the stories that made the headline. The United States has approved $346 million weapons sale to Nigeria to fight terrorism. We told you that 40 people have died from cholera in Sudan's Darfur region. You heard that Israel has announced plans to approve thousands of housing units in occupied West Bank. We also told you that Lebanon has reportedly rejected foreign interference. And finally, you heard that a Liverpool man accused of football parade crash is facing new charges. Till same time tomorrow, to have a lovely evening, and thank you for listening.
Turn the dial and turn up the thrill. We are not in the same league. We are rewriting the rules. Here on Today 95.1 FM.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Baby, tonight the
Let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. beneath the night sky with D. Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
Today 95.1 FM. Today's quest. Today 95.1 FM. Today's hustle. Today 95.1 FM. Today's connect. Today 95.1 FM. Voice of the people.
BBC World Service. I'm Audrey Brown in London with Focus on Africa. The reported death of an infant raises urgent questions over why a law preventing female genital mutilation appears not to be working in the Gambia. France's president acknowledges horrific crimes committed in Cameroon during and after the colonial period.
The French army was responsible for the killings of tens of thousands of individuals in the late 50s and early 60s, on its own until the late 50s, and with the help of the Cameroon government in the early 60s.
And from Niger, outrage over the anonymous selling of the largest bit of rock from Mars to be found on Earth.
This is brazen, because we had the very good fortune to know where it came from, even to the day it was found, and how important it was. And then it was auctioned off.
That's all on the BBC Tonight in Focus. First, the news.
BBC News with Sue Montgomery. American scientists have used artificial intelligence to develop 2 new potential antibiotics that can kill drug-resistant superbugs. Professor James Collins from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology said AI could enable the rapid and inexpensive discovery of new molecules, expanding the arsenal against superbugs. Here's our health and science correspondent, James Gallagher.
More than 1 million people a year are dying from superbugs, which have developed resistance to antibiotics. Artificial intelligence has already been used to scour databases of known drugs to find any with potential antibiotic properties. Now, a team has gone a step further, using AI to design new antibiotics atom by atom. 2 have been produced, which, in tests in the lab and on infected mice, were able to kill the sexually transmitted infection gonorrhea and the potentially deadly MRSA. Long and expensive clinical trials are still needed.
Israel's far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich says his approval of plans to build more than 3,000 homes in a West Bank settlement will bury the idea of a Palestinian state. He said the Ma'ale Adumim scheme, frozen for over a decade due to international opposition, is supported by Israel's Prime Minister. John Donison reports.
Palestinians have long argued it would effectively cut the occupied West Bank in 2, making their vision of a future Palestinian state impossible. At a press conference in 40-degree heat on the rocky hilltops east of Jerusalem, Bezalel Smotrich said the land had been given to the Jews by God and that the plan would kill the idea of a Palestinian state forever. I asked him what message that sent to the likes of Britain and France, who have declared their intention to recognise a state of Palestine later this year. It's not going to happen, he said. There will be no state to recognise.
President Putin has praised the Trump administration for what he called its quite energetic and sincere efforts to end the Ukraine war. He and Mr. Trump are due to hold talks in Alaska on Friday. The Russian leader was speaking during a meeting with his top officials.
Рассказать о том, на каком этапе мы находимся с
I would like to share with you where we currently stand with the current U.S. administration, which, as everyone well knows, is making, in my opinion, quite vigorous and sincere efforts to halt hostilities, end the crisis, and reach agreements that serve the interests of all parties involved in this conflict.
A day before the Alaska summit, Russia and Ukraine have conducted another prisoner swap, handing over 84 prisoners each. President Zelensky said some had been held by Russia since 2014. BBC News. A powerful torrent resulting from intense rain has smashed into a Himalayan mountain village in Indian-administered Kashmir, killing at least 30 people. Kashmir's chief minister said a cloudburst had hit the district of Kishtwar. Local officials say dozens of others have been injured. The US government says it's approved an arms deal with Nigeria, worth almost $350 million. Washington says it will bolster Nigeria's security capabilities and support US foreign policy objectives in sub-Saharan Africa. Chris Walker reports from Abuja.
The package includes more than 5,000 precision-guided rockets. In 2014, during Barack Obama's administration, the U.S. refused to sell lethal weapons to Nigeria due to concern over the military's human rights record. At the time, the Abuja government complained that this was hampering its efforts to defeat Islamist militants in the northeast. Today, Nigeria continues to grapple with major security challenges, including attacks by two jihadist groups, kidnapping gangs in the northwest, and separatist insurgents in the southeast.
Firefighters in western Greece say they've gained ground against a wildfire outside the third largest city of Patras. They said the situation in the port city was much improved after a fierce overnight struggle. Police say they've arrested a 25-year-old man on suspicion of starting one of 4 blazes outside Patras on Tuesday. The English football club Manchester City have revealed an eye-catching new kit, paying tribute to the notoriously damp climate of their home region. The grey and green third kit for the upcoming season features a design of raindrops dripping down the fabric. Manchester receives an average of around 87 centimetres of rain each year, though, like much of the country, has been experiencing a largely dry and hot summer this year. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Audrey Brown, and today in Focus on Africa from the Gambia, how could a baby die reportedly from female genital mutilation when there is a law in place against the practice? France's President Emmanuel Macron acknowledges, without apologizing, his country's colonial-era crimes in Cameroon.
They created artificial villages in the countryside so they could, put them under surveillance, have a look at what people were doing. That's totally disorganized the countryside and the food production system, which in turn was responsible for a lot of deaths.
And from Niger, outrage over how a huge piece of rock that fell from Mars and landed in the Sahara Desert was bought by an anonymous bidder.
This is brazen because we had the very good fortune to know from Italian scientists where it came from and how important it was. It was on display briefly. It went through several hands, obviously, to get out of Niger, out of Africa, into Italy, and into a display case. But they sampled it and told the story about where it came from, even to the day it was found. And then it was auctioned off.
It's Thursday, the 14th of August. First, we go to the Gambia. The death of a 1-month-old baby girl who may have been the victim of female genital mutilation in the Gambia has sparked widespread outrage and reopened a debate about the practice, even though it has been outlawed since 2015. The baby was rushed to a hospital in the capital Banjul after she developed severe bleeding, but was pronounced dead on arrival, according to the police. Although an autopsy is still being conducted to establish the cause of her death, many people have linked it to FGM or female circumcision. Police say that 2 women have been arrested for their alleged involvement in the infant's death. Yadikon Njai Eribo is chairperson of the Association of Non-Government Organizations in the Gambia and one of the leading voices speaking out against FGM. She gave us their reaction to the death of the baby.
I was speaking about this yesterday on social media. Our response is FGM, an autopsy doesn't tell you that somebody died from FGM, but they die from bleeding, from infection, from sepsis, from different issues like that, and then also the pain that they have. So these are some of the reasons we tell them why FGM kills, and this is an example of what happens when you cut a baby. Those people that are against FGM, it just heightens their anger and it shows the emergency of this work. And those that are pro-FGM, is business as usual for them. But on our end, those of us in civil society that are making sure we save every woman and girl in the Gambia, we are very outraged at what's happening.
That's Jariko Njai Eribo, chairperson of the Association of Non-Government Organizations in the Gambia. Now, as we said, the practice has been banned since 2015, in fact, but prosecutions are rare, with just 2 cases in nearly a decade. Anna Njai is president of the Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia. So what are the difficulties in enforcing the law against FGM?
There are indeed challenges in enforcing the law, due to several factors and within the community, because this is a communal practice, so it's hardly reported by community members. And in terms of investigations, the police don't just get up to go to communities where they practice to investigate. They usually have to wait for somebody to come in with a report and then they investigate. Because most people come from areas that practice FGM, some of them are reluctant to go further to look into the investigation, the fear of being outcasted by their society for doing so.
Now, the death of a very young child, an infant, just a month old, has concentrated minds once again around the issue of FGM. Were people shocked by that? I didn't realize that babies were being cut.
We have received information before that babies were being caught. I guess this one is more serious. Well, allegedly, it's something that is not new in terms of people hearing that it's also done on babies. But this particular case, we're waiting for the outcome of the postmortem to confirm whether it's actually an FGM matter as alleged. But then if that's the case, then it's very serious. There's a lot of enforcement mechanisms that the government needs to put in place rather than just waiting for cases to come in, but to really investigate, because in certain cultures, there's a certain period that FGM is being conducted, and probably the awareness raising should be more during that period of the year.
But younger and younger people are being affected by this. Is this something that you see growing so that people can avoid detection?
Well, if it comes out from the postmortem report that the child died from FGM, I think it will be a wake-up call for the communities, because when you go to the communities and when you tell them this has some health effects, in some communities, they're like, well, I've had 5 kids and nothing has happened to me. And you tell them, well, maybe something has not happened to you, but it can happen to the next woman or it can happen to the next child. Some communities will tell you that, they believe this person or this child died from FGM, but it was never reported, it was never investigated, so they just left it like that. So there could have been cases similar to this one, but because it was never escalated, it just died like that.
We'll hear a bit more from Ananjai in just a moment, but I think we should hear why campaigners are fighting so hard to outlaw FGM. Here's a list from the World Health Organization of some of the health risks women and girls have to endure throughout their lives.
FGM can cause a long-term pain, chronic infections, and complications with reproductive and urinary health. It can also cause painful periods, sexual difficulties, and serious risks during childbirth, sometimes even endangering newborns. The impact isn't just physical. Many survivors experience anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress.
And now, back to Ananjai.
I think the advocacy, it's moving more towards the health aspect. Obviously, there's a legal aspect that it's prohibited, but I think showing more of the consequences of FGM, it's enlightening some people. Civil society is doing a lot of work in terms of going to the communities, getting health workers to be on the ground to explain to some of these women or even the men, that these are some of the health issues that it comes with. If you go to a community where almost everybody has gone through the process, it will make it very different for someone coming from outside to make them to understand. So you have to try and get somebody within for them to be convinced. And I think it's coming up gradually. It might take some time, because FGM was a subject 20 years ago. People cannot even talk about it. But the fact now that people can talk about it and debate on it, both in public and in the homes, I think we will get there. It's going to be tough, but we will get there.
Ananjai is president of the Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia. We have approached the Gambian health authorities for a response to this. We're still waiting to hear from them. France's President Emmanuel Macron has acknowledged using what he calls repressive violence against Cameroonians during and after colonial rule. He made this admission in a letter to his Cameroonian counterpart, Paul Biya. Cameroon became independent in 1960 after a bloody campaign by France in which tens of thousands of people were killed between 1956 and 1961. Hundreds of thousands more were detained in internment camps. Brutality and assassination was the order of the day until at least 1971, according to authors of a report commissioned by France, in fact, back in 2022. The findings of the joint Cameroon-French panel of researchers were published back in January. President Macron's letter was written last month, but was only made public this week. In it, he admitted responsibility on behalf of his nation for what had happened, but he stopped short of issuing the full apology many have been demanding. We are yet to hear a response from Cameroon's government. Dr. Vincent Hiribaran is an academic at King's College London and one of the authors of the report. We began our conversation with a summary of what's contained in the report.
As many historians before, we've used the word war to describe what the French did in Cameroon between 1945 up until 1971. It's the first time that a French president uses that term, so it's a victory for us historians here. We also proved that actually the French army was responsible for the killings of tens of thousands of individuals in the late 50s and early 60s on its own until the late 50s, and with the help of the Cameroonian government in the early 60s. The French, with the help of the British government, quelled what they called the rebellion in Cameroon. I'm talking about the British government because actually part of Cameroon was administered by Britain. That's why we've got Anglophone Cameroon today. The French did what they did in many of the former colonies. They tried to fight against an anti-colonial opposition, a bit like the British did in Kenya, like the way the French did in Indochina.
And in Algeria, yeah, indeed.
Yes, exactly.
You call it a war. Just explain to us what kinds of things were done. You say that tens of thousands of people were killed. It's almost like an abstraction to people when you say that. Just explain to us, firstly, in fact, why France and the British and also the Germans at some point were involved in Cameroon.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. The Germans were involved in Cameroon up until the end of the First World War. Then Cameroon was divided into two parts. The main part became French mandate of the League of Nations, and the smallest part became a British mandate of the League of Nations. What happened later, if we move forward up until the 1950s and 60s, the French wanted to control the decolonisation of Cameroon, to know who was going to be in place after decolonisation. That's why they fought against the main nationalist political party called UPC, Union des Populations du Cameroun, which had lots of, connections even in what was called then Southern Cameroon. So that was the British-controlled part. So yes, the French fought against anyone who was against them and controlled people in their cities, for example, tried to send the police, use the law against anyone who would be against them, with gag orders, for example, try to control the press. Also, the French sent troops against anyone basically against them, so that would be mainly in the southern regions. They sent troops. Some nationalists basically tried to escape French troops, and they played a kind of hide-and-seek game for many, many years. But the French were still responsible for the death of many of the nationalist leaders. And that's even after the country was decolonized. And that's the quite interesting bit that we try to show in this report, is that actually the French remained in Cameroon in the 1960s, despite the country being independent. They stayed there, they sent officers, and they sent weapons, and they carried on with the killings. Here we're talking about killings of thousands of people. We don't have precise figures because it's impossible to find them, unfortunately. They regrouped people in camps and villages. They created artificial villages in the countryside so they could, put them under surveillance, have a look at what people were doing. That's totally disorganized the countryside and the food production system, which in turn was responsible for a lot of deaths.
You're saying that people were forcibly displaced and they were interned and also starved in those camps because people couldn't produce food.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And some of these camps still exist today. They're villages, they're towns today. So the French reconfigured the whole map of what is today southern Cameroon.
That causes problems that persist into today, doesn't it? Because people who'd been displaced from their land are now in land where other people lived, and that causes tensions.
Yes, the French left a legacy of authoritarian regimes, legacy of telling people what to do exactly, using violent methods, sending troops if there are problems.
There's been an insurgency in Cameroon, a demand from English-speaking northwest and southwest regions to secede, essentially, from Cameroon as an entity. Tell us how what you've been writing in your report actually explains the insurgency today.
Well, this report goes back up until the German colonial period, and we showed that actually Cameroon was much bigger before. It was separated into two sections, British and French, and then reunified in 1861. So there's an English-speaking part of Cameroon which chose to become independent by joining the then French-speaking Republic of Cameroon. It's quite a complex story. The northern part of the English-speaking part chose Nigeria. So that's the part where you've got the region of Boko Haram today, actually. And that's quite interesting as well. To go back to Cameroon, the story is that actually when this English-speaking part chose to join French-speaking Cameroon, the Republic of Cameroon in 1861, the Republic of Cameroon chose, with the help of the French, to subdue entirely the English-speaking part and to make it part of the Republic of Cameroon, not taking into account its language. Language is plural, obviously, because there are lots of different languages there, and its political history, which was different. For example, there was a House of Chiefs in southern Cameroon, which didn't exist in the French-speaking part. There was a form of political oppression from day one, when actually President Harijo, the first president of independent Republic of Cameroon, became the president of the whole country. So actually, it's a long history of oppression. Today's crisis can look a bit different, obviously. It's like 50, 60 years later. But actually, you can find its roots in the way the independent Republic of Cameroon, with the help of the French, used violent methods to impose its rule, its own rule then. The use of law, the use of French as a language in education. So yes, it started then.
That's Dr. Vincent Hiribaran, who contributed to the report France in Cameroon, 1945 to 1971. This is Focus on Africa from the BBC World Service. Let's go to Mars. Or maybe, actually, let's bring Mars to us. 2 years ago, a large rock was discovered in the desert in Niger. Yeah, I know, deserts have sand and rocks, but this wasn't just any old rock. It was a very old rock that had come from very, very, very far away, all the way from Mars. It had traveled about 225 million kilometers through space before crashing into the Sahara. Scientists call this kind of rock a meteorite, and because it came from Mars, it's also known as Martian rock. That already excites many people. But this rock, is even more special than just being a piece of Mars. It is the largest piece of Mars ever found on Earth. It weighs nearly 25 kilograms, which is about the same as a hefty small child. The rock was first found in the Agadez region of Niger, and the rock was studied and dated, displayed and admired. And then it disappeared. Out of Niger into Italy, where it was seen in a display case for a short while. And then that piece of rock that had found its way to Earth somehow disappeared. It resurfaced at an auction arranged by Sotheby's. How it got there and who paid nearly $5 million to own it is not known to the Nigerian authorities or the public. Now Niger's government wants to know how it left the country because they did not authorize the process. This raises big questions. If a meteorite lands in a country, who owns it? The person who found it, the country it landed in, or the person who paid for it? We'll be hearing from an expert in a moment, but we approached Sotheby's for a response to this story, and they sent us this statement, which we have voiced up.
The meteorite was exported from Niger and transported in line with all relevant international procedures. As with everything we sell, all necessary documentation was in order at each stage of its journey, in accordance with best practice and the requirements of the countries involved. We are aware from public reports that Niger has raised a question about the export of the meteorite, and we are reviewing the information available to us in light of the question raised. Regarding the question of Niger law, we note that the government there has stated that Niger does not yet have specific legislation on meteorites.
Professor Paul Sereno is a paleontologist, geologist, and archaeologist from the University of Chicago. He's been working in Niger for more than 30 years, and he is clear in his response to what has happened to that bit of Mars that fell to Earth in Niger.
This is brazen because we had the very good fortune to know from Italian scientists where it came from and how important it was. It was on display briefly. It went through several hands, obviously, to get out of Niger, out of Africa, into Italy, and into a display case. But they sampled it and told the story about where it came from, even to the day it was found. And then it was auctioned off with the full knowledge of where it came from. And that I call brazen, because our world has gotten smaller from colonial times, and we just are not in a world where you can just take something without showing the world you've got proper papers. That is one of the most interesting things, to fall onto the planet's surface from another country and just auction it off.
So tell us, how does this normally happen? Because these things, people call it traffic now. It used to be called looting in the past, as the spoils of war. But also there was legitimate exchange and so on. So what's the normal procedure? And I'm talking about significant things like the Rosetta Stone or whatever. What would be the procedure if it was done, properly? Is there such a thing?
So there is such a thing, but our country, United States, we differentiate between private property and public property. Artifacts, dinosaurs, meteorites found on public property belongs to the public. If you find something on private property, there's very few instances. It would have to be very recent or some other highly significant human thing. If it's a dinosaur or a meteorite, it's yours, and you can auction it off. Now, Niger belongs to the larger number of countries, including Canada nearby us and others in Europe, that say that these kinds of artifacts, no matter where they are found inside the borders of the country, belong to the people. And that's Niger's law. And so there's no proper way to export this item unless there was a decree through a council of ministers to say that something like that could be permanently exported, much less auction. It's national property. I have tons of Niger's ancient history, ancient patrimony in my laboratory, and I have agreements for the return of that material. I've returned some already. This is how patrimony is handled. And since 1970, there was a watershed agreement signed by the United States where this meteorite was auctioned, signed by Niger in 1970, that stated that live animals, live plants, dead ones, fossilized ones, and rare minerals cannot be exported out of countries and just taken. You have to abide by the laws of the country. And that was reconfirmed in an international meeting in 1995 in Rome. And, this is how we generally practice things. Now, I call it brazen because, quite frankly, a lot of meteorites and even some dinosaurs are taken from land, even in the United States. They're taken from land, and unless you can prove where they came from, you're sort of in a hard place.
So with this particular piece of Mars, it fell, it landed, it was visible for a while, and then it disappeared. And then it reappeared as sold by an anonymous seller and an anonymous buyer. Niger has issued a statement saying that it has left the country improperly and they want it investigated. Sotheby's sent us a statement and they said, as with everything they sell, all necessary documentation was in order at each stage of its journey in accordance with best practice and the requirements of the countries involved. They're saying that they did everything right. Where does that leave us?
That leaves us with a big question mark. If they did everything right, why is the founder of the object, the transporters of the object, the buyer of the object anonymous, and why is that paperwork anonymous? And I think that Sotheby's says, maybe this wasn't the best the best of circumstances that are willing to revise. All that's going to come out in the wash because it was made into such a public affair by the price of the sale and also by the study that was done on it that proves where it came from when it was found.
Professor Paul Sereno from the University of Chicago. And we should say that Niger is investigating it all. Focus on Africa was made possible by the sterling efforts of Tom Kavanagh and Bella Hassan here in London. Makochi Okafor was hard at work in Lagos. Kani Sharp and Yvette Twagira Maria were our senior journalists. Gabriel O'Regan was the technical producer. Andre Lombard and Alice Mudengi are our editors. I'm Audrey Brown. We'll talk again next time.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
This love that make me shamaya. I'm a little baby marama. Even when my brain just they turn
Beautiful song, one of my favorites from Johnny Drill right here. It is Lovey Dovey, the final episode of Lovey Dovey for the week. Oh, we have had a roller coaster, beautiful people, don't you agree? Oh, okay. Well, here we are, and I'm here saying, look, I do hope that you have had a swell time on the radio. I hope that your radio business with Today 95.1 FM has been blissful. I hope it's as blissful as you'd like. I hope you're having a fun time. I hope you're having a swell time. You know that on Today 95.1 FM we bring you premium content only. Look, we're giving 10 over 10 minus nothing. Okay, we eat over here. Yeah, we eat over here, and that's on period. That's on periods, my darlings. Well, when it comes to me, and this time on the night, you know that I will serenade you with amazing songs, because please, what is a night without good music and of course a great conversation? You know the drill now. You know the drill. Well, it's Thursday. It's Music Munch Thursday, my darlings. You know the drill for Music Munch Thursdays. However, for the purpose of emphases and for the purpose of those who might be listening to us for the first time, you're welcome to Today 95.1 FM. This is Lovey Dovey. I am the Amaka of Port Harcourt, the PH Buddy. Your midnight therapy stay. Hey, host with the most and lots of other things. Yeah. Well, I like to add a bag of deliciousness occasionally, of course. You know how they say these things are necessary. Sometimes I don't really wait for the world to give me my flowers. In as much as sometimes I'll be forming modesty, I'll be forming humility. But you see the nice things people like to say to me, please keep saying them. I like them. I need the constant reminders. In as much as I remind myself from time to time. Yes. Please, I have to give myself a pat on the back. If you don't do that, I don't know why. Please. Sometimes you should sit down and acknowledge your acknowledgements. Acknowledge your acknowledgements by yourself, okay? Acknowledge your acknowledgement by yourself. Tell yourself that, I try for this one. And of course, give glory to God who made it possible for you to achieve the things that you have achieved. Now, I like to say that you should not beat yourself up so much. I know that with the start of the new year, people have targets. With the start of the new month or the new week, they're usually, my target is this, my target is that. And then sometimes these targets are not met. It's not the end of the world. Like I say, they say now, who give up, do 18, complete up. Okay, every day that you wake up, it's an opportunity for you to try again. Okay, every single morning it's an opportunity for you to try again. So please step in with the right energy, step in with the right business, okay, and just do everything you have to do, the things that are within your power, and then leave the rest for God. Give God something to bless. Do not think that, you don't have to do anything. You can just lie down and the miracles will be performed. Lie, Kilanko. It doesn't work like that, my love. Okay? Put in the work and let God bless you. Of you tonight, and that's why I'm here with you, talking to you, vibing with you, making sure that you feel good. Yay! I'm here talking to you. I'm giving you amazing songs, talking to you, talking with you, and of course trying to prepare you for what I have ready for you this night on this episode of Lovey Dovey. My darlings, we are here. I am here with you. It's Music Munch Thursday, this Thrustful Thursday. It's that Thursday where you get to make your own music requests. So this is me now flexing. I'm flexing the songs. I'm flexing the songs right about now. But after now, it'll be your turn to flex the songs, okay? You get to choose what song you want me to play for you. You can either send a text message or you can call in. Okay, you text in, you call in, you tell me what song you'd like me to play for you. That, of course, is after you answer my question. Okay, so I have a question for you, or I'm going to take you through an entire passage because something happened, and then so I'm just going to play it for you. You have to listen attentively. I might do a rundown again, okay, just for emphasis, just so you understand better, and then of course you call in to tell me what you think of this situation. Yeah, it's going to be a special episode, if you want to call it that. Okay, you are welcome to tonight's episode again, beautiful people. I do hope you are ready for me and everything that I have in store for you. It's lovey-dovey season, my darlings. Get ready to call in, get ready to text in, and let's do tonight's episode together. Plus, get your music requests ready, because tonight is that one night where I get to fulfill your requests. So the songs you want me to play for you, I will be playing them. Okay, all you have to do is call in, text in, answer the question, and of course, let me know what song you'd like me to play for you. We're here, beautiful people. I hope you're ready. Well, I am.
Oh, they broke your heart so many times, so you can't forget. And they made you cry so many times, so you still regret. To make enemies wasn't the goal, but you lost your friends long time ago. I'm just here to let you know that it's time to let it go. If true peace is what you want, and if long life is what you need,
Your salary is 100,000 naira. The value of rent where she stays is like how much?
For a 4-bedroom duplex in that area, let's say about 5 million.
You're staying in a one-room apartment. How much is your rent?
150.
150,000 naira a year. And both of you have agreed to marry each other, right?
So she's passionate about getting married to me.
She's passionate or she's desperate?
I don't know her motive, but...
How old is she?
31.
How old are you?
37.
If you guys get married, is she moving to your one room or you're moving to her 4-bedroom duplex?
Obviously, she can't come to where I'm staying. I mean, where I'm staying is so slum-like. And unfortunately, I can't move to her house too.
Now, why can't you move to her house?
Because of the consequence of moving to a woman's house. At me, an insult, my dignity.
So what are you going to do?
I'm just going to look for an average area that can accommodate her. I'm looking at 1 million, 2-bedroom.
A 2-bedroom flat?
Yeah.
She's going to leave her 4-bedroom duplex. And she will leave all that slow. So you want to marry her? Luxury and come and stay with you in a 2-bedroom flat,
yeah,
and drop her standard of living because of marriage?
That's part of sacrifice, submission.
Submission?
Yes, she will agree to come because she's the one that wants the marriage more.
What do you mean she's the one that wants the marriage more? Don't you want the marriage?
I want the marriage, but I'm not desperate. You know when women really want to marry, so she's doing more of the work, doing more of the dating.
Really?
Yes.
If she says you should move in with her because it's more comfort, and it's easier for you because you won't need to pay rent.
Well, I'm a man, so that will not work.
You will not move in?
I will not. And it's simply because I know what women can do, especially if they're having that kind of privilege over a man.
Are you mobile?
I'm not mobile.
She should be mobile.
She has like 3 cars.
Do you plan to drive a car when you get married?
Well, for car, I don't mind driving a car.
If she gets angry when they assist, you should not drive a car again. What's going to happen?
Okay, then I take Uber.
How long have you guys been dating?
9 months now.
But why don't you look for someone of your class? Why did you decide to date a woman of that class?
I didn't know. We met in church.
Luxury. And come and stay with you in a 2-bedroom flat. So you want to marry her?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at it. She works in a tech company, 600k a month. Your salary is 100,000 naira. The value of rent where she stays is like how much?
For a 4-bedroom duplex in that area, let's say about 5 million.
You're staying in a one-room apartment. How much is your rent?
150.
150,000 naira a year. And both of you have agreed to marry each other, right?
So she's passionate about getting married to me.
She's passionate or she's desperate?
I don't know her motive, but...
How old is she?
31.
How old are you?
37.
If you guys get married, is she moving to your one room or you're moving to her 4-bedroom duplex?
Obviously, she can't come to where I'm staying. I mean, where I'm staying is so slum-like. And unfortunately, I can't move to her house too.
Now, why can't you move to her house?
Because of the consequence of moving to a woman's house. At me, an insult, my dignity.
So what are you going to do?
I'm just going to look for an average area that can accommodate her. I'm looking at 1 million, 2-bedroom.
A 2-bedroom flat?
Yeah.
She's going to leave her 4-bedroom duplex, and she will leave all that slow. So you want to luxury and come and stay with you in a 2-bedroom flat,
yeah,
and drop her standard of living because of marriage?
That's part of sacrifice, submission.
Submission?
Yes, she will agree to come because she's the one that wants the marriage more.
What do you mean she's the one that wants the marriage more? Don't you want the marriage?
I want the marriage, but I'm not desperate. You know when women really want to marry, so she's doing more of the work, doing more of the dating.
Really?
Yes.
If she says you should move in with her because it's more comfort, and it's easier for you because you won't need to pay rent.
Well, I'm a man, so that will not work.
You will not move in?
I will not. And it's simply because I know what women can do, especially if they're having that kind of privilege over a man.
Are you mobile?
I'm not mobile.
She should be mobile.
She has like 3 cars.
Do you plan to drive a car when you get married?
Well, for car, I don't mind driving a car.
If she gets angry when they assist, you should not drive a car again. What's going to happen?
Okay, then I take Uber.
How long have you guys been dating?
9 months now.
But why don't you look for someone of your class? Why did you decide to date a woman of that class?
I didn't know. We met in church.
Luxury.
Heated debate currently trending online. I will take you through it. Then I open the phone lines for you to call in, text in, and then of course make your music request because it's Music Month Thursday. Okay, so for the purpose of repeating this whole thing, right? Running you through it for just in case you don't quite follow. A heated debate is currently trending online after a 37-year-old man, well, you heard the guy, so there was an interviewer and then there was another man who was answering the question. So the man says he's 37-year-old, yeah? He's 37 years old. So after a 37-year-old man who earns 100,000 naira monthly revealed plans to marry a woman who makes 600,000 naira monthly, owns a 5 million naira home and drives 3 cars. Now this man, 37, earns 100,000 naira monthly. He lives in a one-room apartment where he pays 150,000 naira per year for a rent. Now, he wants to marry a woman who makes 600,000 naira monthly, owns a 5 million naira home, drives 3 cars. She's 31. Now, while some argue that love should rise above financial differences, love should not be about money. Anybody can have money. The fashion designer Vicky James, I'm sure that that name rings a bell. For a lot of people, there was a time where they were saying, no, Vicky married down. She has more money than her husband. But you know how Vicky was all up in our faces? She still is all up in our faces, okay? She and her husband. Okay, so the Ateres, I don't think we are done with the Ateres. I don't think we'll be seeing less of them anytime soon because look, Vicky has plans to remain in the faces of Nigerians. Okay, doing what it is she wants to be doing. And frankly speaking, I don't think it's even anybody's business. I think people should do what works for them, really. So if she has decided she wants to put herself and then her husband, her marriage out there in the public, I mean, it's really, really on her. So people should be allowed to do what they want to do, whatever rocks their boat, really. So while some argue that love should rise above financial differences, others believe such a wide income gap could lead to a long-term resentment, emotional tension, or a breakdown in mutual respect. Where, you know how men do not like, some men at least, do not like it when a woman has more money than they do. Some men can find it intimidating. And then even when the woman is not, all, even if she's not in their faces with the money, even if she's not self-imposing or money imposing, even if she doesn't act like, oh, she has it all, she's got it all figured out, she does not try to rub in the fact that, oh, she has more money. Some men will never they will never let this woman drink water and drop cup. It's something that I've witnessed over time. There are men who have tied their worth to their ability to provide. Some men have tied their entire value to their ability to provide. I know that you come and say that it's the society that did it. I don't know. Maybe the society has a part to play. Maybe the society has also made it that way to an extent. But I feel like you as a human being, you should also be able to love yourself. It's just like people tying a woman's worth to her ability to have children, whether she's able to give birth, whether she's able to get married. What is that? What is that? I think that whatever the society says, you should also say your own. And you should be able to rise above all the crazy, rise through the crazy, and do you like a phoenix, rise through the ashes, my darling. Please, let me give you a little bit of motivational speech here and there. Now, this situation has sparked broader conversations about pride, gender roles, who should do what, who should not do what, who has the responsibility of making money, who should have more money than the other, when it comes to the family setting. And then pride. It's a thing of pride for men, apparently, to be able to provide, to be tagged providers, to be tagged a man who can do this and who can do that. For some other people, however, look, if a man cannot provide, it's a problem, right? So that's the conversation on social media. There's also conversation around whether love alone is strong enough to overcome such a significant economic divide. Because if you agree with me, 100,000 naira and 600,000 naira are on different sides of the economic divide, right? They don't even meet. They're not meeting. They are not meeting kilos, so they are worlds apart. Let's go in here to Kenneth Okonkwo. They are worlds apart, please. So people have asked questions, whether love alone is strong enough to overcome such a significant economic divide, if this is ever going to be a problem for this couple if they eventually get married. But then again, my question for you tonight, I have two. First off, do you think this wedding will work? Do you think this marriage will work? If the wedding does happen, let's say this is tentative, this is tentative. So they're not married yet, but it's in view. Now, if the wedding does happen, do you think this marriage will work, considering that they are on different sides of the economic divide? What are your reservations? What reservations do you have? I'd love to know, beautiful people. So hit me. Phone lines are open. 0817 00 00 951, 0810 9510 951, 0817 00 00 951, 0810 9510 951. Let me know what you think. Will this marriage work? Does it look to you, does it seem to you that these people will be able to, find a way to meet in the middle? Do you think their meeting in the middle is going to yield anything positive? And then what are your reservations when it comes to, things like this? I'd love to know, beautiful people. So call me, and then I hope your music requests are ready. Hello, good morning.
Before I go straight, my usual already. Hey, maybe get better on the line. Anyway, that man will finish her career. He will reduce that to his level within a year if that marriage proceeds, which means that marriage can't work. Because look at it, you can hear what.
Yes, are you there? Okay, so it seems we lost you there. You can try calling us back. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good morning.
Good morning, sorry. For me, I don't see any issue there as far as there's a mutual respect. Yes, as far as there's mutual respect, it's not all about age, it's not all about money. If the girl, if the girl respect him, so he should not be afraid. There are a lot of women they are working in CBN in Abuja. Their husband is just ordinary public school teacher. So, but he wouldn't know. The man they protect the woman, they protect the man so much. Even when they go out, they give the man money. The man, if you ask about the husband, he go hype the man, So to me, it depends on the individual. If the woman have mutual respect to the man, why not? Let him not think about that aspect. I don't think it's necessary. Yes, that's my own belief.
All right. So, but now, according to during the interview, they asked him if he was going to move from his what's it called? Yeah. So what do you make of that situation? Do you think it's a thing of pride for him to not agree to move into her house, even though it's more comfortable?
Like I told you, if the woman is a humble person, there are some people, even as they are rich, they are still humble. You understand? If this woman is not a nagging person, you understand? She respect the man. I don't see any big deal if the guy had no rich, because it would be difficult for such a class woman to go to a squat or this in a square one or this tiny room. She won't be comfortable now. So now the conflict will come into. So the guy should swallow in pride. He doesn't have money.
Okay.
So let him flow with the woman.
All right.
That's my submission.
All right. What song do you want me to play for you?
I don't really have anyone in mind. This topic is with me. That's why I call. Just let me listen to other people.
All right, that's fine. Okay. All right. For messages, send them to 0701 9339 962. 0701 9339 962. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you once again. Matthias calling you from Norway University.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, back to the matter. the matter choco.
I agree.
Like God will help us. Yeah. Now, from my own side, this is how I see it. As a man, have a work of salary is 100,000, and now you want to get married with a woman that has that earn 600 and something thousand, living in the duplex house or anyhow you call it, maintaining 3 cars in Nigeria these days. That woman is not a choice person. What I want to say is this. It's all about tolerance. If the man can tolerate, things can go easy too.
Okay, he's the one who has to tolerate?
The man, yeah. True. Because if you don't have, you don't have. And if you don't have, you better stay your day or join what you see. Because if you don't have, and maybe you have love with that person, this love of a thing, everything follows. Money involved, characters involved, how you tolerate involved. Can you manage somebody? Can you just see somebody as a human being? Everything involves the love. It's not that you don't have money that you cannot marry a woman that has money. If the woman decides, okay, all this while, I am the single, I have everything, why don't you look for a man that is just coming up and can calm down with you and you both can do things? It's all about mindset. It's all about taking decision to settle down. Settle down is not a childish play. Before you have in your mind that you want to settle down, there are many things you don't have to not look after just to make sure that you want to fulfill what your love or what your mind is telling you. So, if the man have to tolerate whatever thing he's doing, he can go to the woman's house and let them stay there together, because you can't bring a woman of that taste to that level now. What kind of love is that? This is life she has been living all these years. Now, she wants to get married to a man. You should let her come and bear with you. It's not even your house. If it's the man's house, even though it's single room without bathroom and toilet, the woman can manage because that is your house. But this one, you are renting a house. You don't own a house. So, wow, like I said, it's not a joke. But there's nothing, it's not, with God, just like from the interview I listened to, the man said that him is not desperate, that is the woman that is desperate.
Indeed.
And now the person that was interviewed now asking, why don't you follow your size than to go to this land? He says everything is coming from the woman, that he made the woman in the church. That means that woman can be somebody that fear God, that have respect for God, but she just see herself the way she is. Then, if God is in support of the marriage, it can work.
All right.
Yeah, it can.
All right. What song would you like me to play for you? Do you have any song in mind?
Okay. I have one. Gamaka. I am not that good in this our music, but there is one I always remember. It's called One More Night.
Okay.
Baby, give me one more night.
All right, that's fine.
Sometimes when I'm alone like this, I always like to do.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
And play the full tape.
Yeah, wow.
The full tape. Yeah.
All right.
So I will get the vibe.
Thank you for calling. All right. Hello. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, please name location.
This is West.
You're welcome, West.
Concerning this topic of a woman richer than a man or earning than a man, for me, in the first place, the question is like, if the woman, she know that the woman already know that she has money, or she is earning than man, and she automatically accepted the marriage also. In the first place, what you are supposed to look on the marriage is if she accepts the man as a lovely wedded husband.
They're not married yet.
Okay. Even if they are not married yet, she sees herself as like, this man is my man. She takes him as her man. And she loves him.
Okay.
The man should... What if the man is earning than the woman? Who will say it's because of he's the head of the house or he's the man. That is how it's supposed to be. No. God give us two hands to clean each other. So if the other way around, the woman is more earning than the man, for me, I will gladly see it as a normal thing. That is
Okay.
for my
So you
own
will not have any
opinion.
problem. You won't have insecurities with the woman earning more than you.
For me, I will not have any problem. Things can turn around also. So,
Okay. So
that
if
is
you
my own
had to
opinion.
move into her house, would you?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Okay, what if I'm the one earning than she and I have nothing? If I don't have anything to eat, I bring a gari to soak. She will consider it and go with me to soak that gari with me. The same thing like this, if the man is lower than the woman and the woman is higher than the man, so be it now. That is for me.
All right.
That is for me.
Okay.
I will accept it.
All right. What song do you want me to play for you?
Okay, the song I wanted to play for me is Let You Decide by Celine Dion.
Okay. Let You Decide.
Yes.
All right. That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's talk, beautiful people. What is your take? Do you think this marriage will work? Do you think this is something that can be done? Do you think it's something that can happen? Do you think this marriage will work? And then what are your reservations, if you have any? What are your reservations? For some people, they're asking, oh, look, will these people's love stand the test of time? Because time might surely bring along some tests, right? So let's talk. 0701 9339 962. This number is for text messages, WhatsApp messages as well. 0701 9339 962. Okay, send in messages, regular text messages, and of course WhatsApp messages. Send them in as early as possible, and of course remember to include your music request. Okay, let's have your music request. That way I will be able to add your songs to the list. Okay, I need it to be as prompt as possible, please, so I don't miss out on anyone. Hello, good morning to you.
Special baby.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, you?
I'm okay. You're welcome.
Now, special.
Mm-hmm.
If I can hear you very clear, what do we understand by love and money when it comes to husband and wife? That money is my money. My money is your money. It takes a greedy woman.
That money will be what?
Okay, fine. I said, what is your money or my money when we want to talk about love as husband and wife? Your money is my money, and my money is your money. It takes only a greedy woman that will only tell you, my money is my money, then your money is our money. No. The moment the both of you come together as husband and wife, nothing. I don't think there should be anything. Whatever the both of you have, except the one you decided to give her before you come into that home. Every other thing that you carry and come along yourself, it belongs to the both of you. You understand me?
Okay, but at this point where they are not married yet.
Okay, they've not married, but they are planning to.
Yes. So the man is already saying he will not move into her home, her house. She has a better house. She has a better apartment. He's saying he will not move in there. She earns more money than he does, right?
I understand. Now, if the woman truly loves the man, you should. The rules there is when you marry a man and truly you love that man, the only thing you do is if the man apartment is not even that okay to you, you help the man to make it fine. Than telling the man to come and pack and no, that's wrong. The woman has to swallow that pride, even if it's a mother, whatever it is.
Okay, so she should move into his house.
Yeah, to the husband's house. No matter how it is. The only thing the woman should do, if the house is not that built maybe the way she wants, so let's assist the man. Let's make this house fine. Do you understand me? Give the man money. Let's make this house fine. So we can live inside. Than telling the man to come out, that's very wrong. That's a red flag to me. If the woman insists, the man must come. No, that's a red flag.
Okay.
If I would be the man, then I don't think if I should. That man I will not continue.
Okay. So for you, it's better that the woman moves. She drops her standard of living. She should make the sacrifice. The man cannot make the sacrifice of swallowing his pride to leave a house or an apartment that is not comfortable.
Now, let me tell you something. It's just like a man and a woman and a man. They will approach you. So we are about to meet. I will not tell you as a man. I will not come to your house. Sleep within your house. We are dating. No, that's wrong. To me as a man, that's wrong. You come to my house. If I want to come to your house, it will be occasionally. I will not see your house as my home. No. You come to my house. Even if I'm staying in the morning, you come to my house. That's my date. You understand me? That shows a responsible man.
Okay.
Even if a mother, a room, you come to my house. You understand? So the woman should understand that. That is a man that I want to get married to. Instead, ask the man. Give the man some money. If you have money, equip that house, do the house to my taste. Then we can live inside. Not the man to pack and go and stay with you. No, that's wrong. Honestly, that's wrong. You understand?
All right.
So the man have to think. She have to choose. So they have to think and decide what to do. If not, if she just managed to go and stay with a woman, the man will see a bigger one.
Okay.
Honestly, at the time, the man will start washing clothes and all that for the woman. Because he has started it already. I'm telling the truth. There are other things that the man will start doing for the woman because he has started it already.
All right.
So this is the right time to stand as a man. Say no. If you want to marry me, follow me.
All right.
You understand?
What song do you want me to play for you?
You know my wife. You play me Ifunaya. I think you should know about that, my Ifunaya.
All right. Thank you for texting. Thank you for calling.
You start making mistake now. I didn't dare to.
Wahala day. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. All right then. Yeah. Okay, beautiful people, keep your calls coming in, keep your messages coming in. Day for you, 0701 9339 962, 0701 9339 962. Regular text messages, WhatsApp messages as well. Okay, for calls, we're down to 0817 0000 951, 0817 0000 951, 0810 9510 951. Okay, so let's keep it coming. There's a few texting. Remember to include your music request to your messages, okay? Add your music request. Let me know what song you want me to play for you. Okay, let's do this one. Hello.
Amaka?
Yes, please.
I called back again. This was
okay.
This program of it is opinion by each and every one of us. For what the last call I just said, I mean, for me, I don't buy the idea of the last caller.
You don't have to.
Opinion.
Yes, you don't have to.
That is his own opinion. But this thing, man, this is a man. This is a man. What is the woman? What about the woman? Why the men? Some men, we always have this pride of I'm the man, I'm the head of the house, I'm a man. Why?
Why?
I think
This
you are
is,
in the best position
I
to
don't,
answer that, seeing as you are a man.
because in some communities and some villages, towns and villages are making some mistakes like woman don't have any right in her father's properties. Woman don't have any right in her father's properties. This is similar like something like this also. It's not right for me. For me, it's not right for me.
All right.
Anything I have to give to my first son, I'll give it to my first daughter also. That is for me.
Okay, that's
This
fine.
opinion does not written by God. It's not written by God. It's by opinion coming together by some elders in the villages that put that same law.
Okay,
Well, I don't
thank
like
you.
when some people are saying something like, I'm the man.
All
the
right.
woman, uncle.
Thank you for calling. So here's the thing, right? Everybody's entitled to his or her own opinion, right? That's one thing I will constantly say on the show. It's a quick reminder. I mean, what works for you might not work for the next person. So that is why when it comes down to you making your personal decisions, you will do as you please. Even God who created us gave us the ability to choose. Yes, you are a human being, you have free will. In fact, the reason you disagree with somebody in the first place is because you have free will. That's the reason you can't disagree with what somebody has said. You have free will, you have the ability to think for yourself and then decide what you're going to do. At the end of the day, that's why even when we give suggestions here on WWE, we always make sure to add that ultimately it comes down to you making a personal decision. You wear the shoe, you know where it pinches, so you'll be able to know how to keep your leg, how to step, how not to step. Ultimately, we're different people, our faces are different, so of course we'll have different thoughts, different, ideas and all of that going on. All right, let's begin with the songs. Those of you texting, I see your messages. Keep it coming. Remember to include your music request to your messages, 0701-9339-962. So I'll get started with the messages after playing some of the songs. Let's get started with the very first on the list. That request came in from Music Emperor, his usual Angel Gabriela by Phase. Well, let's wait that one. We will get the other songs. Okay, so let's get started.
How many of y'all love your woman? Well, I love my woman. And you know what I call her?
So far, I'll get started with the messages and also take your requests from that area right about now. Okay. Meanwhile, Mr. Matthias, you requested for the song One More Night, and you said you didn't know the artist. Now, there's a One More Night from Phil Collins, okay? There's a song titled One More Night by Phil Collins, and then there's another one by Egyptian, right? So which one are you referring to in particular? I don't know which one to play for you. Is it the one by Phil Collins, or is it the one by Egyptian? If you could kindly call in again, or send a text message, if you could call in or text in to give me more details. Which one do you want? There's a song titled One More Night by Phil Collins. There's also a song titled One More Night by Egyptian. I think the one by Egyptian is the one I'm familiar with. I think that one, he went one more night. Sorry, my singing voice is terrible. My singing voice is terrible, but I manage it like that, okay? Because like this is very I'm under choice. I have to sing it small. So the one by Egyptian I'm familiar with. The one by Phil Collins it's vague in my head right now. But the one by Egyptian, one more night, baby, just one more night, one more night. I can't sleep without you, something like that, I think. So, is it the one you want? This one is by Egyptian, and then there's the one by Phil Collins. Which one do you want? Let me know. Please call in again, Mr. Matthias. You requested for the song One More Night. Which one do you want? Let me know so I can, get that sorted for you. Meanwhile, some other messages on the list. Let's take messages right about now. Let's begin with this one from John, texting from PH. John says, Amaka, this is largely a thing of pride for a lot of men. I understand why a lot of men might hesitate to move into a woman's apartment, even when it seems like the better thing to do. I think that both of them should actually sit down and have a conversation about it all. Even though I feel like this guy is not even serious, because it feels like his mind is already made up. He's not going to move into the woman's house, and he's acting like his ego will be affected and he will be intimidated by the fact that this woman has more money than he does. That's why I like when the interviewer asks him a question: why do you want to marry this woman? Why not go for somebody of your class? I think this guy should really go for somebody of his class. Please play me the song titled Yuri Yuri by Bracket. It's been a long time I heard that song. Oh, okay. It just took me down memory lane, bro. Look, when this song came out, I think I was in GSS 3 at the time. I don't know what it was that I did, though. I can't remember what exactly I did. I just know that I had my classmates eventually started calling me Yuri Yuri Princess. I really cannot remember what it was I did. If it was because I could sing the song or I could dance it, I can't remember what it was exactly. But I shall know that my nickname as a GSS 3 became Yuri Yuri Princess. I think when I got to SS1, it became Diamond Princess. Now. Okay, I think Diamond Princess came with Barbie. Yeah, the cartoon Barbie. What's that particular cartoon? Diamond Princess, Castle, what? So I think I could sing the song then, that one stuck. The nickname changed when I got into SS1, and then they were calling me Diamond Princess. I don't know, but I just feel like the nicknames I've gathered in this life. If to say that they pay because of nickname, I should be a millionaire. All right, let's see. I'll take my messages, but let's do this call first. Okay. Hello. Yes, please. Okay, Mr. Matthias.
Yes.
Okay, so which of the songs do you want?
I think the one you just sing.
Okay, that's fine. That's the one by Egyptian.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry for giving you work this night. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't mind. All right. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
About what we are discussing, I just want to say if it is me, what I will do.
Okay.
I don't know whether I should go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, what I wanted to say is this. If the guy have an apartment, no matter how cheap it is, he should not follow the woman to his house. But if he's renting a house and his salary is 100,000, renting an apartment for 150, you see, it's just about pride or anything. If you now goes to the woman's house based on you are renting a house and your salary is not that much, I think if it is me, I will go to this woman's house. And when I get there, listen, when I get there, I will respect myself. Even the woman will fear the way I will humble myself, knowing that if I do anything stupid, this guy can just move away. But I will be very sincere with her, except any other way. Because another thing is this: when you now move into the woman's house, that is when you will see the brothers, the uncles, auntie them. Hey, you they here the chop our gari. Hey, which kind of man where they come marry, come house again now? All those stuff. But if he knows that the environment is place, he can manage. I think go ahead. Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, more messages here. More messages here. Let's take this one from Joy, texting from PH. Joy says, "Hello Amaka, good morning to you. This conversation Tyra Papa, but I think I have to give in my thoughts. A lot of men will not even agree to this because men have this price thing going on with them, and I totally understand that. So that's why I feel like every man should please go and marry his class of woman." I like how the interviewer asked him why he wants to marry this class of woman who is obviously way above him. If he knows that truly his ego will not be affected, then he can go ahead. But if he knows that he's going to have a problem in the long run, which is something I already see through the way he's answering some of these questions, I think he should just leave that woman alone, let her fellow millionaire find her and marry her. Please play me the cover of Nobody by MC Cheryl. Okay. Cover of Nobody. Okay, I think I have that one sorted. I have that one ready. Okay, yes, let's move on. Okay, quickly add Yeri Yeri to the list, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, let's see. Let me quickly run to social media and do a message from there. Okay, more messages. This one says, let's see. Ogbo Minister Prosper says they should keep it working. Okay, I don't understand that one. Noale Befi says, to me, if there's love and understanding between both sides, the marriage will work. Otherwise, there will be sad songs to make either of them cry. Makachika Dikenuba says, most women who are rich are harlots. Okay, I'm going to quickly respond to this. What do you mean by most women who are rich are harlots? Are women forbidden to make money? What do you mean by that? Do you think that every woman who has money had to sleep around for the money? This is twisted thinking. I mean, it just shows that maybe you're not ready for what the world has to offer. You have some sort of myopic thinking going on there. Do we conclude that most men who are rich are either ritualists or armed robbers or kidnappers? Should we conclude? If men can hustle in a legit way to make money, why do you think women cannot hustle in a legit way to make money too? Why do you think women have to sleep around to make money? I mean, okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and, play my songs so that I do not get pissed. Some of the songs that I'm supposed to play, I'll go right ahead to sort them out for you. Okay, so let's begin with Yuri Yuri, and then I'll move to One More Night by Egyptian. Let's do this ones. I'm Michael from your welfare. Thank you so much, Michael. You said the nicest things. Okay, so I will quickly add that to the list. Yeah, but I will do Simi's song first. Simi's song Love Don't Care by Simi, and then your song will follow. Okay? Yeah, I will do all the songs, so just better stay tuned. Okay, beautiful people, this has been Lovey Dovey. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for texting as well. Let's do this again. Yeah, next week, Lovey Dovey continues, beautiful people. All right, so take care of yourselves. So have yourselves a blissful weekend, a blissful weekend. My name is Amaka. I've been your host. Follow me on everything social media and continue to stay safe. Love who you love, because life isn't guaranteed, my darlings. From me to you, it's a good night and a good morning.